Joy 99.7 FM. Joy 99.7 FM.
Everything you put your hand go
Joy, not Joy 99.7 FM.
be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Getting paid. Where the hustle go come the pay. Your own in no go take. Amen. If you don't find work, do your own. God self go do his own. And flesh go cover bone. Amen. Amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Sister where one man sings until where they fight begin. One day you go born twins. Amen. Amen. They're not we don't losing job. Landlord come they do like God. One day you go be landlord.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Good news go locate you. Watch us.
One day you go be landlord, eh?
If you believe it, say amen. No. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Long life go follow you. Strangers go favor you. Great men go honor you. Amen. Amen. One day you go sign the check. Oh. You self go drive that Benz. Oh. This life go still make sense. Oh. Amen. Your children go make you proud. Oh. Bad people no go pull you down. No. One day you go run this town. No. Amen. Amen. You self go spray me money. Baby go call you honey. You self go host the party. Amen. Amen. Don't go to go be your friend. To the Lord go be your friend.
Just getting over some technical issues. Yeah, welcome to Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. We're going to roll like that. I think you can hear me. Let me just check this.
Joy 99.7 FM.
It is the okie dokie forces. Forces.
Your business go bring you gain. You believe?
It's because I've got my brother in the studio, right?
Joy 99.7 FM.
Today, I'm up close and personal with Professor Alexander Nioto Dodu. I like to call him a Niger returnee, right? But he's an academic. Should I add politician? Recent past chief executive of the Ghana Standards Authority. You may not know he's been president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana over and over. He's been a chair of the then Food and Drugs Board. He's been a chief executive of the Kufuor Foundation. And me and him now, we've done things in the past and gotten into trouble as well. But today I'm talking pharmacovigilance with him. Yes, he was with us in the medical school. And he went some ways and ways and ways. But from the corners of the Lungus of Jamestown, this man went to Nigeria. He's also been to the University of London or University College of London. He's been in Edmonton. He's director at WHO. Alex, I'm tired. Good afternoon. I can hardly hear you. Ziggy, my sound.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, okay. I think it's my headset today. Right, but great to have you. Nortey.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Good to see you. And we've got a lot to talk about. But I'm just trying to spread your CV, okay? Open it and spread it. But many people don't know how much you've done. Tell us a bit, just a bit, okay? I talked about you being the chair of the Food and Drugs then board. You've been the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana twice. Yeah? 2 terms.
Yes.
Okay. You've been a director at WHO.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us a bit about it.
Okay, so I will skip the Nigeria bit because I was a Ghana Must Go part 2 person.
You came
so,
in, Ghana Must Go back.
But then when I come to the professional circles after pharmacy, I have been the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana twice, 2008 to 2010, and then another 2 years. I've been president for the International Federation of Pharmacists, or IPF, International Pharmacy Federation.
I left that one.
And I was president for the information wing for 4 years, from 2008 to 2012. And I actually was, or I am still, the only person from outside Europe to be the president for the International Society of Pharmacovigilance. I developed and chaired the Global Vaccine Safety Initiative that looked at what is going to be happening when we looked at pandemics and the like. And I was the director for the WHO Collaborating Center for Advocacy and Training in Pharmacovigilance at the UGMS. I've been on the Global Vaccine Advisory Committee, the Advisory Committee on the Safety of Medicinal Products for WHO. I've served on numerous Gates Foundation funded initiatives as well as others. And yes, I'm proud to have served as a CEO for the Kufuor Foundation as well, for President John Ajekun Kufuor, former president. And among other things.
Right.
But I'm still a member of the Holy Trinity Cathedral Church on the high street of Accra, and I still come from Jamestown.
Righty. And of course, also, you're now president emeritus of
the African Organization for Standardization. I served as president for 3 years. At the end of the tenure, usually people say extend your stay. But I am a passionate and consummate Democrat. I said 3 years is 3 years.
Right.
So the board, we call it the council, voted to make me a president emeritus to be able to offer tasks to them in the area of standardization. I mean, we are still talking about Ulonka and how we can transform our continent.
Right.
I think we are now in legacy time. We need to leave a legacy.
We need standard measurements, units, and all that across board.
Exactly.
And at the GSA, I know you did a lot. We'll get into that. Okay. But I've done stuff with you. I can remember in 2005 when we transitioned our malaria policy.
Which gave us headaches.
It gave us headache. We've had headaches before on this program. Yes, Alex Dodo is no stranger to headaches and wahala and trouble. I'll tell you, and we'll share the Ebola when he was hauled before Parliament for contempt, right? Because we were, should I say, charged to come up with some communication plan for that whole thing. It didn't quite come out because the approval delayed, and then some communication was done which didn't quite amuse Parliament. But that's the gentleman I have in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Alexander Nortey Dodo from Jamestown. British Jamestown, British
Thank
Accra. But he's an accomplished man and a very, very, very close friend. But let's talk about pharmacovigilance because, we did a lot of stuff back then. We did the Medicines Transparency Alliance, Meta, yes. Right, with many of you. And I remember putting together the memorable milestones for Meta, a publication of the work we did looking at medicines. But pharmacovigilance, let's share with my listeners, what does that entail?
Thank you very much, Nortey. Pharmaco means medicines or drugs, as we used to call them. Now we like medicines to separate them from hard drugs. And then vigilance is vigilance, keeping watch. And the whole business of pharmacovigilance and now vaccine pharmacovigilance is to keep an eye on the medicines and the vaccines and all other medical products we use so that when there is trouble, one, we identify it quickly,
Okay.
and two, avert it.
Right.
Nortey, I shouldn't be praising you too much, but I will praise you here. At the last assessment of Ghana's Food and Drugs Authority, the work done from Incantity ensured that Ghana was rated as having, they call it maturity level 4 in relation to safety monitoring or pharmacovigilance.
Safety monitoring or pharmacovigilance.
Or pharmacovigilance.
We were rated as what?
As the top end.
Top. Just say you're passing.
Maturity level 4, which ensures that we are as good as can be.
Right.
And
How significant is that?
it is important because it does show that the investments done by yourself as an individual, your station, other stations, all of us, no one person, including Ghana's Food and Drugs Board and
Right.
Food and Drugs Authority, has been seen within the global community as being there with the best.
Okay.
Mention the US, mention the UN, the
Right.
EU, and co. And I say this because as a country, we do not often celebrate our wins.
Right.
I mean, when
9.7
Dr. Dakum, Mrs. Dakum mentioned that during the assessment, pharmacovigilance was stopped and I think clinical trials, I said, what? But that is because as a country, we are very shy.
Right.
We do not.
People think, sorry to interrupt you, Alex, but people think that, we are not serious. We are not on top of our game. Once in a while, they hear some products have been recalled. They hear a few things and they think we sleep on the job. I mean, share with us on this assessment, okay, and this achievement, right? That you now, refer to Dr. Mimi Daku, right? She's no longer chief executive.
She's now
she's transitioning into
Director General for the African Medicine
higher
Agency.
things.
Higher things.
Higher things. Mimi, congratulations, right? But folks, I can speak with a certain authoritative, should I say, attitude, because sometimes I'm backed by the very best. I remember once I said something about some asthma treatment, and if a whole pharmaceutical company chief executive, head of legal, and another, they descended on my office in Kolebu because I had said something. I said, well, you know what? You can check with Alex Dodu, you can check with Mimi, and the gentleman I had in the studio is then a qualified pulmonologist, and we're talking about a treatment combination that had been taken off. Those days, Alex, you may remember, I made mention of...
I don't want to mention the name of the product.
If they do, I'll mention, so that we come so we fight again. But yes, we've done these things. So we are tops for vigilance and safety monitoring.
I believe clinical trials as well. I believe,
Okay.
but I will stand to be corrected
Okay,
on that.
help me to help my listeners, because when we talk of pharmacovigilance, we're talking about monitoring medicines after they've been licensed and duly passed. Now, the process of clinical trials before a medicine becomes even licensed is tough.
Yeah.
About 4 stages, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then pharmacovigilance steps in after they have been licensed
Exactly.
and still monitors them.
Yep. I mean, you want to look for a medicine, you go through 4 stages of clinical studies or trials.
Right.
99.7
Stage 1, you look at a few people to be sure it's safe.
Okay.
Stage 2, or we call it phase 2, to be sure that it works. Phase 3, you want to be sure it works in many more people.
Right.
But by the time you put a medicine on the market, you don't know how it works in children, pregnant women, those with different health conditions.
Right.
So when you release it on the market, if you're not vigilant to see whether it's causing trouble, when you pick the trouble, it may be too late.
Right.
And we thank the good Lord that as a country, we have a solid safety monitoring system that picks problems. The Amodakun Atesunate case you raised,
Oh my goodness.
we picked up the issues quickly.
very quickly when we transitioned.
Yes, and thankfully we have a democracy which is liberal, so people badged it from Kinakwin 442 to 448.
my
We
goodness.
faced the media, we were questioned, we were grilled.
2005.
But in the end, we all agreed that let's leave those products and go to coartem and other artemisinin combination therapies.
And Ghanaians knew Camoquin already.
Yes.
And all the other things.
Yes.
But it was as if, Alex, let me ask you. We had drug resistance
We did.
to chloroquine.
We did.
We therefore had to shift from chloroquine as a first line treatment.
Thank you.
Now, one of the issues in 2005 was that, malaria is big business, especially in Africa. So we actually somersaulted twice in
Yep.
3 months.
Yep.
Because the drug we chose would also have put out major players in our local
industry
at
the time, yeah.
Before we settled on the combination artesunate amodiaquine.
And then we went for Coartem and the rest.
But so in those policy moves, Alex, so essentially we're protecting the nation.
We were protecting the nation, and this discussion keeps coming up. People say, oh, you are taking people out of a job.
Right.
I can tell you without equivocation that now all the pharmaceutical companies who were against the new therapy are manufacturing the new products. Mm-hmm. The size of the pharmaceutical market in Ghana has doubled since those days. It's become even better business because it is better regulated. You know, an unregulated market is no market. Your investment will it will die. So, I mean, and this is to all players who are occupying public office, that do the right thing, because in the end, the nation will thank you.
Thank you.
And for our Ghanaians in the diaspora, because I'm on the few platforms, they bash Ghana as if we do not exist as a country.
Talking about.
But we are a serious country.
And we're talking 2005 here.
Exactly.
15 years on, Alex, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
20 years actually.
20 years. Sorry. We were hated for it.
We were roasted for it.
We were roasted for talking about it. Yeah. And folks, if you just joined us, my guest in the studio, a good friend with, I find very difficult to talk seriously with, but he's a very, very serious, accomplished academic, clinician, and he doesn't joke with his stuff. I'm trying to see if I can thread through pharmacovigilance, regulation, standardization. In fact, even during COVID, many of you did not understand emergency user authorization, because we had to develop vaccines, quickly authorize them, country specific, to be able to administer them. Now, because we are alive, and we lost many friends and colleagues, Alex, right? But now, because we are alive, there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy and bashing, right? We'll get to that as well, okay? That is why I brought him into the studio this afternoon. He also is an author. In 2010, I remember his first version of Healthy Secrets, where he dealt with flatulence and many other things. He's done 3 editions since then. I remember last year in April, you launched the Super and the Extra. And he's not talking about fuel. Okay? This is his book. And Alex, you describe it as an interesting, easy to digest way of talking about serious health issues to the layperson. Just give us a word on that. We'll touch on that as well. I
mean, not the average person is petrified, is afraid of health. And if you do not demystify health, and so the book talks about everything from having an itchy bottom to trying to do, from having kwashiorkor in America to having breast enhancement, buttocks enhancement. And then I touch a lot on what men don't want to hear. That having the blood pressure is not a killer. Most men fear that
men don't want to hear
that when they have high blood pressure, it means they will lose their erection. And I keep telling them that no, you can control your blood pressure and still continue to have an erection. I know it's a Sunday, I've just come from church, but I'm talking about serious issues, because too many men
These are
die.
Election issues or erection issues?
Erection issues. Because men feel like when their blood pressure goes up, they are dead. So they will not seek treatment. Rather, they will rather keep their manhood alive and still die.
So they rather seek bitters.
Thank you.
And aphrodisiacs.
You have summarized it.
Teresa Tego used to say, they'd rather buy the bitters and concoctions to, should I say, fly at high mast
and die quickly. I would humbly put across to all men that you can bring your blood pressure down and still keep your erection up.
Okay. Regulation. Right?
Exactly.
Know your numbers, because your erection is pressure. But there's a different vulcanizer for that, Alex.
If your pressure comes down, we will give you the medicines to keep the other side up. Right. And it will be up for as long as you want. Okay,
great stuff. This is why I brought him, you see, because we can have fun but still get it done. And we don't mean to rhyme, okay? He supports avidly Accra Great Olympics. I don't know what is pharmaceutical or chemical about that. What is the chemistry of that?
It's blue and white.
So right now, where is your famous bus?
It's work in progress. It's still around.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's come back to business. So we are doing well with pharmacovigilance. We transitioned the Food and Drugs Board to the Food and Drugs Authority, which is legislative and also a critical milestone that we had to accomplish. And now I do believe they are fully equipped, where they are. They have their building. And how would you rate our food and drugs ecosystem?
Okay, I'll use what globally is used. Globally, food and drugs authorities or agencies are regulated, or rather they are run by the World Health Organization, doing what they call a global benchmarking tool.
Okay.
In that tool, they have ML1, which means class 1, ML2, class 2, ML3, and 4 means that you are there.
Okay.
So if you're ML4, you are at the top.
Okay.
And they may call you a WLA, but we'll leave it at ML4.
Okay.
Currently, in Africa,
Right.
out of 55 countries, there are only 9 which are maturity level 3, ML3.
ML3.
And Ghana is one of them. And I believe Ghana was the second or the third to achieve that. Provided we build on the foundations that have been laid. And I use that word clearly. Provided we build on the foundation,
Okay.
Ghana should be heading for ML4 shortly.
Okay.
But if we disrupt the foundations we have laid ourselves as a country,
Right.
then we may go back. Because it's a process.
So we can regress.
We can easily regress
Okay.
if, due to all sorts of things that you and I know about, we start moving things around in ways which will not help.
Okay.
I want to believe we will not do that. I really believe we've crossed the line of going back. But
All right. And it's messy and serious and dangerous business. I remember in the past you hosted something. I did my program live from there.
Yes.
And the board chair, the chief executive of the Nigerian equivalent of the FDA,
Yep. Dora Kunyili. The late Dora Kunyili.
recounted attempts on her life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because she was regulating illegal drugs, smuggling of drugs, and all that. So to say we are ML3 means we've actually weathered the storm.
Absolutely. We
And even
we
you,
have-
I mean, you take risks when you say and state some of these things with scientific accuracy.
you do take the risk. I mean, as a country, I praise our country, Ghana, because we take the risk. We are very considered. In fact, our parliament, which hold me for contempt,
We'll come to that.
have been very supportive of pushing things in the right direction, regardless of the partisan nature. And I do say that there are areas in our national development where politics has taken a quiet stand, allowing technocrats and excellence to shine. Our prayer and our hope is that these things will continue.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to mention any names, but there are several CEOs who are doing what must be done.
They are
working across board.
They are qualified
They are qualified.
and they are working
They are
in the
competent.
appropriate fields and making giant strides.
Making giant strides. I mean, anytime I tease Dr. Victor Bampo, I tease Soji Tete, and they reach out across to anyone who is a Ghanaian who can help move the national agenda forward.
Right.
For me-
Irrespective of the political philosophy. Right?
Thank you very much.
And many people find it difficult, right? You know, me, I speak politics, and when I say I don't care which of the identical twins you are, I deal. And Alex will bear witness. We've had to really talk tough on certain things. The malaria thing wasn't a joke.
At all.
To sit in a studio and actually should I say, analyze. Because we shifted, and then people said, in fact, some people even said people were dying.
We were the lone voices. I mean, we are underplaying it, but it was a time when the nation felt we were wrong.
Okay.
Now, 20 years down the line, malaria has gone down so much that we don't even see malaria as quote-unquote a disease.
Huh? And we're doing rapid tests.
We are doing
with
rapid
this
tests.
And all of
Nobody's
these
saying
things.
I'm itching because of this or I'm collapsing because of... I mean, we have come so far.
Alex, all of these rapid tests and things have to be standardized, have
And
to be
checked.
regulated and
Exactly.
checked before we can even put them out there. And you've been in the thick and thin of all of these things. Let's talk a bit about that, because if there's even a COVID test, it has to be passed.
What the nation needs to know is that excellence is not easy to achieve, but it's even more difficult to maintain. During COVID, I was on the FDA board. I was also at the GSA. Together with the FDA, I called then Dr. Mimi Dako and I said, look, or she called me, I don't know who called
we
me.
had AB coordinating.
Asamaba coordinating.
Right, salute
and
to
we
him.
agreed that this is no time for duplication of efforts. This is no time for wasting national resources. Ghanaians will want to remember that we developed fabric nose masks, which were as perfect as any other nose mask.
At a time when nose mask was not a joke.
Now, post-COVID, the country has gone back again. We are importing almost everything that we can produce.
Oh, don't tell me. So, post-COVID, because I even remember that my good friend Greg Nalem, he has a factory floor. I went there, people had contracts and were producing masks according to spec.
And we tested them scientifically. We checked the pore size. We made sure that viral particles cannot go through. And they were being used. Post-COVID, we've started importing. So really, we need a national conversation about...
Alex, what would allow for that? Post-COVID, we are importing. Something we learned. We learned to build capacity, and we learned to use many things which were low-hanging fruits, right? And we enhanced them scientifically. And you're telling me that now we've gone back to what? Importing?
I've had a lot of chat with the Association of Ghana Industries. We need a policy that will protect our local industry, but that will also make them competitive price-wise.
Right.
We should not have a framework where imports are cheaper than equivalent quality locally produced goods.
Right.
Made in Ghana is good quality. I swear by that.
Right.
But if we allow imports to come in cheaper, all things considered, than made in Ghana, we are shooting ourselves in the foot.
Right. Great stuff. If you just joined us, 36 minutes past the hour of 2 on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm in the studio with we're trying hard. There's some people who teachers don't allow to sit next to each other because there'll be chaos. But we're trying very hard to steer the course and stay focused. If you have any questions, concerns, queries for Professor Alex Dodu on a wide range of issues, you can share them. WhatsApp 055 11 11 997. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and they say now X. And yes, I've done several things with Alex, and he's done several things without me that I've been able to monitor and report on, some of which I can't share. He has, in fact, he's doing field work. I call it Alomo algorithms, but he does a lot of field work on certain substances. So if you see him out somewhere sitting, taking a bit, it's actually field work. Right?
It's science. It's scientific.
It's scientific indulgence, right? But he's my guest today, and I share him with you. Now, Alex, years back, we forayed into this whole e-health and many other things. I remember we tried to do a template of what the UK calls NHS Direct.
Exactly.
I remember a certain notorious Alex Dodu. I remember how am I supposed to address Uni now?
Then it was it's not his lordship.
His lordship, right? Yoni Kolendi,
yes,
and many others who
Samuel Hene, yes,
bright minds. What were we trying to do then, and how has it translated into the kind of e-health and other things that we look at?
Okay, at the time, this was 2007-8, we wanted to offer healthcare to Ghanaians at a touch of a button, just a phone call. We copied or emulated what was happening in the UK, because even in the UK, with all their number of doctors, pharmacists, and nurses, the average person, when he or she is ill, even today, just needs a human being at the end of a line to know what is going on.
Right.
We tried to do it. The funding, we got funding from then Vodafone, or it was its name before Vodafone, GT One Touch.
One Touch.
Yes, but the funding was insufficient, and actually we on that principle, we said if we cannot run the service for a year, we are not going to run it.
Yeah.
Later, it morphed into a TV program.
Yeah.
It's gone into others. I am hoping that under the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Mama Cares, we will obviously take it up. It doesn't have to be owned by us.
Right.
It can be owned, should be owned by the country.
A lot of
good ideas.
Good ideas and good work that has already been done.
The work has been done. The template is there.
Remember those days, Ghana House was the Vodafone.
Ghana House was Exceed at the top.
Exceed at the top.
We're there using the call center.
Oh,
we got investment to get people trained in all the languages, because What we want to offer is that healthcare to Ghanaians should be offered.
All right.
We would be e-health, but e-health without a person speaking to you. Trust me, the majority of the population will be confused. And yes, no matter how much AI you have, these days AI will warn you that AI is only a tool. Okay. And that you are responsible for the for the end result.
AI, low from.
Yes, AI cannot replace human beings in healthcare.
Right.
Because in healthcare, a woman from Jamestown and who someone has poured hot kinky water on because they had a fight, AI will not be able to decipher that. By the time AI deciphers that, there's trouble. Because you are going to deal with both a health issue and a social issue. If you don't solve both, you treat the woman at Kolebu, she comes back and there will be a repetition and a repetition and repetition. That's the reality of our living.
You see why I said we need about 2-3 programs, right? It's already 2:40. Alex, we also talked about, and we did some work in rational use of medicines, right? How people use and engage with medicines, and we even went as far as monitoring the average time duration for a consultation with a doctor, right? During which some of these critical communications must take place. Have we progressed in rational?
Not much. The average person still is spending no more than 5 minutes per doctor if you go to a public facility. 5 minutes to tell them that you
After
have
waiting
itchy.
how many hours?
After waiting 2 hours, 3 hours in Kolebu, 4 hours or more.
For less than
5 minutes. And then the pharmacist, maybe if you are lucky, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, 3 times a day, 3 times a day.
What does that mean for our health and well-being?
It means that the human resource that we are developing for healthcare, we need more. We do hear that yes, doctors have not been posted, etc., etc. I believe, and I've said this a few weeks ago, that we should look at the model of health delivery we are doing. Okay. Government should not be hiring all the healthcare workers.
Right.
And if government should do it, I would rather all this funding is given to the assemblies so that they choose the people they want. They work in those areas and they provide the services.
Okay.
We are having a situation whereby, because it's top heavy, government cannot and should not bear the burden. Rather, let doctors, pharmacists, nurses provide their services, and based on the capitation level, pay them for the population they serve.
Right.
That way, you create health also as a business. Because you look at America, you look at the countries doing well in healthcare. Health is big business.
Big business.
B-I-G, business.
Right.
So we should move health from being a charity, which is not serving our people, to a big business that takes into consideration the need to serve the poor and the vulnerable. Okay. That way we'll create more jobs, we have more doctors getting better salaries, and staying in Ghana rather than brain draining.
Okay, great stuff. You're listening to Professor Alex Dodu. I'm having an up-close discussion with him. I haven't gone down here, but we'll get there, right? Because yes, we also tiptoed into the Ebola trials. So I'll let Alex do it because I'm not Black Rasta, but he and Black Rasta ended up being hauled before Parliament. But the story was research-based. It was scientific, and there was a scientific effort. Was that 2015? No. When was that?
2014.
14, right? Ebola was raging elsewhere.
Yep.
And then Ghana was given the honor of doing what?
The Ebola clinical trials.
Right. Share with us.
It should have taken place in Ho. The considered view of Parliament was that Ghana should not have taken part in the trials.
No, they felt we had actually brought Ebola into the country.
Into the country, they felt.
And you were trying to explain.
Chimpanzees, yes.
Right.
I tried to explain, you see, but the language I used when I was young and fiery. In fact, Yeti Mesa said something. He said, "Prof, you haven't done anything wrong, but instead of telling us to keep quiet, you said we should shut up."
Please, there was something else you said. Can I?
I said a few more things, but I will not repeat it so that I send myself back to Parliament. No,
they'll know I was with you and call me as well.
No, I mean,
but the essence of it was that they were outraged that such a scientific endeavor was taking place in our country and with Ebola, and they knew what Ebola was doing elsewhere.
Yep.
So you referred properly to the fact that they hadn't been informed, right?
You are putting it very nicely.
I'm putting it nicely because I don't want to go where you went. But did we finish the trials?
The trials did not take place. It took place in other countries. Yep. The product, the medicine made by Merck was approved. So when COVID came, we realized that Ghana had shot itself in the foot.
Okay.
Because by communicating to the world that we will not do clinical trials of new vaccines, we were caught hands down. But fortunately, the country got together. We did what we had to do internationally. And now I'm happy to say that, one, we the scientists have learned to respectfully engage Parliament at a level where we can carry them along. Parliament has also learned to call us for advice, for guidance. And indeed, during COVID, we saw, one, Parliament working together with the executive and with scientists. But importantly, it was completely non-partisan.
Great stuff.
I will say that to the credit of the Republic of Ghana. And I'm hoping His Excellency John Dramani Mahama would continue to fund this film, because we have now got into a stage where when it comes to healthcare issues of great importance, Ghanaians put partisanship aside.
Okay, great stuff.
And we speak as Ghanaians.
Right.
And I believe it's a step in the right direction that we must continue.
Even if there's a green bottle in between us, we speak as Ghanaians.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
This is serious
brown
stuff.
bottle sometimes.
Right. But moving from this Ebola, Dodu, Black Rasta thing, Parliament, where you were called to come and remove your mouth,
And I was pardoned.
and you were pardoned, right? We also pioneered research in the malaria vaccine,
Yes.
right? And vaccines is a big area for you, Alex, right?
I mean, Ghana is done wonderfully. One, we tested the first malaria vaccine in the world, RTSS, in Tamponades. But two, Ghana registered the first, what I would say, super effective malaria vaccine called R21 Matrix M.
Okay.
The Food and Drugs Authority under Dr. Mimidakun approved it. They were the first to approve it, even before the World Health Organization.
Exactly.
Even before the World Health Organization. And for Ghanaians out there, 6 months after Ghana has taken the lead, the WHO came and said, this is good. The whole world must adopt it. So, I always say that we don't tell our stories very well. So recently, His Excellency, the President, has been talking a lot about health sovereignty.
Right.
Now, we have sown the seeds that when we build upon, we can have the health sovereignty we want in the production of vaccines, in the production of medicines. I mean, really, Ghana is ripe for the takeoff.
Now we have a vaccine institute.
We have a National Vaccine Institute. Dr. Soji Sojitete, he gets it. He's been doing the right stuff, using everybody and anybody who will bring progress.
Okay.
And I'm always teasing him that that's the right way to go.
Okay.
So we've come to a place whereby Ghanaians can begin to go to bed knowing that the stewards of their healthcare are widely awake. Yes, there will be a few twists and turns and a few heres and theres, but we must begin to take health seriously and take it, like I say, repeatedly, as a business, but as a business that brings wealth and health.
Okay, that's why I brought him here. Okay, we chose not to do this in Ghana, right? But Alex, please, if we go into Ghana, he's another one.
Agbe no Jugba.
Agbe no Jugba. But my guest, with pleasure, Professor Alex Ni Oto Dodu, Jamestown. Right? But he's been all around, he's everywhere, internationally, holding up our flag, chalking achievements, it's amazing, right? But even what you think is down there, below foot soldier, into the gutter, he's been there, he's done it. If you have any questions, concerns, the phone line 030-221-6541.
Joy.
WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. I mentioned COVID because a lot of things went down and a lot of work was done. And our ability to bring in vaccines, use vaccines, do this, do that was not a joke. So I'm somebody who doesn't like a lot of, things that people cut and paste and put on there. What is the current take on, what we did during COVID? Because people are now bringing things, and a friend of mine even said, you got me to get vaccinated. Give us a word on that. How serious the situation was, what we achieved, and then what we know now.
Ghana did very well.
People are saying that we are genetically modified as we walk because we took certain things.
I would completely say that that's not true. I took all the vaccines. I took the 2 vaccines. I took the booster one as well.
There was a nurse in Kolibu who said, now I know your age. I said, please, jab me and let me go.
So Ghana did well. We put in an infrastructure, and you can see that now we've even moved from the level of just health surveillance to rather trying to use our digital networks to be able to monitor our Ghanaians. Now we've moved so fast that hospitals in Ghana are beginning to be interconnected. But our disease surveillance system is top notch. That is why we could say we had X number of cases of mpox. That is why now Ghana is one of the few countries looking for a vaccine
bird flu and all
for
these
Lassa fever. We are doing phase 1 trials in Ghana, which means starting from scratch. And Ghana brought this here because now we have the competence, we have the understanding, but we also have the community going with us. So really, where we have reached, I will repeat once again to Ghanaians, thanks to your tax money and to the systems we've had and our governance architecture, Ghana is much healthier and much stronger. And we are just hoping that we build upon what has been built by all of us,
right?
Not by any one person.
Okay. I'll come to Healthy Secrets. I'll flash that because next week I'll do it again for you, right?
Thank you.
But this humorous literary work, let me call it that, right? That you've put together. We started in 2010.
Yes.
Right? And I know we did some here on Ultimate Health. Now, last year, you launched Super
and Extra.
Extra.
Yep.
Healthy Secrets Super and Healthy Secrets Extra. Right? So you did a double whammy. And you ran out.
I ran out of books because
How can you run out?
The Healthy Secrets Extra dealt with serious things. Cancer, diabetes,
but a secret
asthma.
that runs out cannot be a secret.
What happened was we underestimated the demand. So the first print run just gone out.
Okay.
So we have just done the reprint. But these are, I don't call them books. I call them lifesavers. And indeed, I tell everyone that this Christmas, if you don't give a secret, you've lost out. But because it's going to be a Christmas full of secrets. Both Healthy Secrets Super and Healthy Secrets Extra. Why? In Healthy Secrets Super, you are talking about people dealing with itchy bottom. You are talking about people who want to do things on their breasts, on their buttocks. You are talking about pimples. You are talking about chicken pox. You are talking about appendicitis. You are talking about sleeping sickness. You are talking about people who have restless leg syndrome. People sleep at night. Their legs
and their legs are doing things.
Their legs are doing things without they knowing. You are talking about Kawasaki syndrome. You are talking about conditions that occur to people when they think the devil himself has come. And yet when they get the information, their lives are transformed just by the information. Just by the information. So my passion is to empower the community in simple ways to take control of their health. Indeed, once they are informed, sorry, I said gamma. I dropped my H or picked up the H. Once they are informed, they live well. If you take the extra,
right,
your hypertension, your diabetes, your cancers, they are fully explained. And I leave it to the public. But I strongly recommend this.
Okay. Book. Having said that, is there a chapter? And if there isn't, we'll start writing because we have the Alumo algorithms coming out, right? But is there a chapter on Bentua?
Yes.
Enema.
Yes. I spoke about enema extensively because people are sighing too much.
In English or Ghana?
I mean, it was in English. People are taking too much enemas. And of course,
really?
they are creating a cycle of, you take the enema, then you have to restart. Some people used to do it just because it's cultural.
Alex, hang on. Is that research? Is it true? People are
over purging using Bentua.
Right.
Yes.
Using the enema. What is an enema?
An enema, is a bulb which has a solution that is used. It's inserted rectally, so that it evacuates your stomach. Your intestinal contents.
No, when you say that, then you're talking about the syringe, the enema syringe.
Yeah, the syringe.
But the enema itself is
the active ingredients. It can be
you as a clinical
usually it can be a medicine.
It's a medicine.
But some people don't only use medicine.
Okay.
Nortey, I don't want to say what people put in Bentua these days.
Say it. Tell me.
People go as far as putting alcohol into the Bentua.
Into the Bentua.
Because when they do that, it goes straight to the brains. It takes them off.
Oh, is it rather more direct than?
Yeah, it's more direct.
Taking it.
But it's dangerous and it kills. If I tell you the sort of things people are putting it so that they can take off.
All right.
I think it would have to be an evening program. In the afternoon on a Sunday, right. I have to be very holy.
Oh, my listeners are very, 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 very. Please, we came... Seriously, I came to know Prof. Dodu during COVID-19 period. Anytime I listened and watched him, my respect for him inched higher. He's very intelligent, knowledgeable, and up to the task. Ghana is blessed with people like him, and I strongly believe that people like him should be allowed to serve the people no matter who is in government. Babs in Hachu. Babs, Osumole. I would say it. Babs loves you. All right. This one says, Nortey, please ask Prof. Some time ago, there was a code. Hey, Kwame Ndansuman. There was a code one can dial to check if a drug is authentic or not. Is that system still in place, Kwame Ndansuman?
FDA is running that, yes.
Okay.
There's an ISD code for some products, and then
Okay.
you just dial the short code,
Okay.
and you can confirm.
Kwame, I'll grab that for you. Togbui says, Prof, there's an upsurge in blood clot sickness attributable to COVID vaccine. Please don't ask me the scientific evidence. Please, this is in your... Please place this in your... But when you don't want to give any evidence...
Actually, what he's saying, during the COVID crisis, there were some black clot issues in Europe and others.
Yeah.
So he's actually asking a question based on knowledge.
Yeah.
The question is asked, which is legitimate, is that we should be having enough surveillance in Ghana to see whether the level of black clots among Ghanaians have gone up pre and post COVID. That is a legitimate question, and that is something that I've noted and that we shall look at.
Inflammation and clotting were issues in COVID,
Yep.
which we dealt with.
Exactly.
You see, right?
Exactly. We did deal with it in the studio.
Yeah. Okay. So, please, Toby. Okay.
He said healthcare is big business.
Yes. All right. So there's work being done, and there are people researching on a 24/7 basis. Alex, I can't let you go without asking this. You know the variation in the price and cost of medicines across from pharmacy A to pharmacy B. People always do this, and we've done it over the years, right, on Ultimate Health. But what is a generic and what is, the other ones?
Yeah, the brand, the other ones.
The other brands. What is the original and this, and then how that impact on cost?
Okay. When you buy a medicine, if it's a new product, we call it innovator. The one who discovered it is given about 15 years to recoup his money.
Okay.
Usually he gets 10 years.
That person invested in the research and all the trials and everything and came out with a
new
novel,
product, innovator.
drug.
Yeah.
So he or she is an innovator.
Yeah.
And then they are protected for a period.
We say 15 years, but usually it's 10 years because by the time the product starts selling,
Okay.
then after that, others can produce. They are called the generics, the Me Too.
Okay.
Now, for as long as your Food and Drugs Authority is up to the task, and Ghana's FDA is up to the task, let me put it out there. Any brand you buy will be effective because they will make sure that the brand's license for sale in Ghana are equivalent to the innovator.
So a generic is duly tested, regulated, and licensed.
Absolutely.
And therefore, a generic is not
Inferior, not at all.
or low in efficacy as compared to the original.
The original. Okay. In fact, if you ask me a direct question, I take medicines for 1 or 2 blood pressure and a few things.
Okay.
Do I take generics? My answer is a big yes. I do.
Okay.
I do. Because one, I trust that bought in Ghana, bought in the proper pharmacy,
Okay.
it would have been tested by the FDA, it would have been approved by the FDA,
Okay.
so I'm safe.
All right.
If you buy it on the wayside, well,
Okay.
then you have a problem.
Having said that, should that translate into a wide variation in price?
No. I have been the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, and I'm saying that extreme price fluctuation and variation is not in the interest of the patient.
Okay.
We need to carry, and we have a new president, Dr. Paul Fojo, and I'm beginning to engage him so that we see how to communicate to the country and how to bring the pharmaceutical fraternity together.
The umbilical cord with Pharmaceutical Society hasn't been
Sivet, no. Once a president, always a president.
way back in the day, Charlie. We did so much with these guys
In the Bachelor office.
And when did you start building that thing? It's done now, eh? There's some parts of it.
It's almost done.
Almost done.
We have a beautiful building now. Yes.
Those were the days.
Those were the good old days.
Those were the days. So cost shouldn't be an issue. So when we see, I run from this pharmacy to that pharmacy, what is the cost?
I mean,
about?
you see, within the Republic of Ghana,
Yeah.
by law established, we do have people whose income are so low.
Okay.
Retirees, especially, do not have the money.
Okay.
We need to have an architecture whereby everybody gets access to the medicines they need, regardless of the cost.
Okay.
For some of us, 1,000 cedis for all the medicines you need for a month is tolerable.
Okay.
But for some people, where their pension is 500, 1,000 cedis is twice their pension. So we should separate the for me, it's the cost to the individual which is the problem, because
Right.
people have low income levels.
Even
and
though
that
health,
is the issue.
health is business.
Even though health is business, and even though the actual cost is low, that low to some people is just too much. And I believe that nobody, and it is in the collective principle of state policy. Is it it's Section 6 of the Constitution.
Right.
I can't remember. There's something about principles of state policy.
just call
the
me.
directive principles of state policy.
you.
And it states that nobody in the Republic of Ghana should be without medicines, healthcare, and other things just because
So it becomes a right.
it is a right enshrined in the Constitution.
Right.
It's a right enshrined in the Constitution. So we need to look at that directive principle of state policy and see how, whether as pharmacists and co, we will structure the Republic of Ghana that every single Ghanaian citizen will not go without the medicines they need.
Like so, we have to go to Parliament. You stand for Jamestown. I won't tell you where I stand for. All right? But Jamestown is so hot.
They
Abba!
will tell me when my mother was born.
They will tell you your mother. And this is where parties and families. But it's been awesome having you. We haven't gone into the details of Healthy Secrets Super and Extra, but Alex assures me that I will have 10 signed copies of each, making 20. So what you Brunia, right? Making 20, and we will go into Healthy Secrets next week with him. There are other issues I want to talk to him about because health insurance and many other things. He's all over. And then standardization, right? He's now the president emeritus for
African Organization for Standardization.
short is what?
ASO.
Oh goodness. Okay, you didn't get to that. Okay, AR.
ESO.
ESO. Okay, ASO.
Yeah,
Okay,
ASO.
okay, right. The Chinese have something to say ASO.
The Germans will say ASO, which means okay.
ASO. Okay,
Yeah.
but Prof Emeritus. So standardization, right? What are you buying? Whether it is blood, whether it is this, they say we don't sell blood. But how are we calibrating some of these things? And what are some of the systems he endeavored to put in place? I heard he had some fights with cement and things. They will all relate to health in a way that we can talk about. But that is the person known as Prof. Alex Ni Otto Dodu. And he's been my guest today. We haven't done most of the things because I've kind of layered and tiered them. And he speaks so well, right, that we need more than one dose. Okay? And when he's doing other things, he does it more than one dose. So, Alex, Oyradon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
But I think the two of us, we need to do a tag team in Parliament and get in there. But many thanks for listening to Ultimate Health. It's been a pleasure having my brother in the studio across. Sometimes I have to jab him small. He came during COVID, and we had a little tattle about whether vaccines had come from here or there and whether we dashed some vaccines. But hey, he's a great guy and a great national asset. Let me see if I can go back to Timmy Daklo. But quickly, yes, healthcare is big business in the US, but he forgot to mention it is expensive as well. Technocrats determine one's healthcare and not your doctors. In terms of what meds your doc can prescribe, whether to be admitted at the hospital or not, etc. This is from Dede in Maryland. Dede doesn't mess with me at all. She can pack a punch, okay? But several others. Ask Prof if it is lawful for a pharmacy to retain the prescription form after serving a client, right? This is Kwame in Nansuman. The prescription is a whole thing we need to talk about. Doesn't the enema affect the biome? This is from Selassie Jolu.
It does.
We'll get to that, Selassie, please. Things below sea level, we'll talk about that next week. But many thanks, Prof. Alex Dodo. Stick and stay on Joy 99.7 FM. We're back next week. I hand over to Ziggy. He'll be giving you Sunday vibes. But I leave you with Timmy Daklo. Your name will open doors. Stick and stay. I'm out.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk.
7 FM. Joy 99.7 97.6 Joy.